all new for 2025. I know you guys are as excited as I am because today I'm going to take my very first test drive in the 2025 Ford Explorer ST line. Let's see what this vehicle has to offer. If you're interested in a Ford Explorer, come check us out online. We're at smellford.com. Exterior color of this one is rapid red. And man, I'll tell you what, it really sticks out nicely, especially with the nice contrasty front end here. Blacked out grille, Explorer logo blacked out. The blacked out features along the bottom of the vehicle, and this front end is completely redesigned. New headlights, we have the fog lights there. Coming around the side, you notice the 20-inch mock aluminum wheels. This vehicle has a 2.3 liter EcoBoost 4-cylinder engine and a 10-speed automatic transmission. The blacked out features continue along the bottom there. Explorer logo down here with some nice blacked out trim. Now let's talk about how you get into this vehicle, right? So I have my key fob in my pocket. I just put my hand through the handle. That has unlocked the doors. To lock it up, there's a little ridge right here that says lock. I just hit that and the car's locked up. It comes with a 3-year, 36,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty, a 5-year, 60,000-mile powertrain, and a 5-year, 60,000-mile roadside assistance. Around the back side of the vehicle, you'll notice those tail lights really stick out. They're very new this year. I think it's really cool how they kind of run across the tailgate there. You obviously have the Ford logo, blacked out Explorer logo right there in the center, and the 4-wheel drive logo in the bottom right. Big thing though, coming standard on the Explorer this year is the hitch. This actually does have a towing capacity of 5,000 pounds. Getting into the tailgate, I'm just gonna hit a button back here. We have a power tailgate all the way up. We have a little bit of stuff in the back seat here, but let's see. We actually do have some storage options back here, which is nice. We have this flat bottom cover here that actually flips up, and you have additional storage underneath there, which is awesome. Let's say you don't want to have the third row up, right? Let's go ahead and put that down pretty easily there. You have more storage options. That folds completely flat there. So if I go ahead and put down this seat, you can see that does fold completely flat as well. You have a lot of additional storage space in here. Another thing I really like about the trunk is that you have the light back here and a 12-volt charger if you do any tailgating. Jumping into the third row, all I have to do is pull the little latch up here in the top. It allows me to open up the seat and get back here. Now, pretty easily, you know, I was able to get back here. There's not a ton of room back here for an adult. If I put this seat back, honestly, I do have a few inches between me and the seat in front of me. So it's not horrible, but what's really cool, if you do have this third row open and you have this second row down, you have a little place to kind of kick back and relax up here. So that's pretty neat. Some additional features that are cool back here. You have a cup holder, you have some tie downs, and 2 USB-C fast charging ports up here. Let's take a look at these second row seats. You have that black leather with the red stitching. It's Active X seats, so they're really durable looking. What I see in front of me here, obviously we have some storage on the back of these seats. We have ventilation options, which, by the way, if we look up, we can see we have ventilation not only here in the second row up here, but we also have it in the third row. Good thing to mention there. If we come back up to here, we have a USB-C, 2 USB-C fast charging ports, and a 12-volt charger there. And there's some cup holders. One of my favorite things about this back seat is this large panoramic sunroof. You have a lot of vertical visibility back here. Really adds to the space that you already have, at least visually it does. Let's jump up to the front seats and see what's different up there. So here we are in the front seats of the Explorer for the first time. Let's go ahead and start things up. We have graphics that popped up on the dashboard, fully digital dashboard, as well as infotainment system. I do want to mention that this is completely redesigned. The entire dashboard looks completely different than the previous Explorers. You actually, if you look over here on the right side, it's kind of cool. This silver trim actually says Explorer across it. This actually gives me kind of a carbon fiber type look. You have that red stitching with the black leather throughout, and that like heather gray up here. It's really cool. It really blends together nicely. Looks like we have the B&O audio system in here. and a lot of stuff in front of us, so let's get to it. Up here, first thing, we're going to look at the steering wheel because we do have a flat bottom steering wheel here in the ST line. On the left side have the safety features. We'll go over those on the test drive. We also have our buttons to increase or decrease the volume of our radio. On the right side, it looks like we have a bunch of buttons here. This is going to be able to change stuff that's on our infotainment screen. It looks like we have a lot of different stuff that we can display up here. Everything from our audio to our phone to our speedometer, different things that we'd want to change up here, we can do that with these buttons. Other things that I can actually show up here too, looks like we have a map view where we can actually bring the map up here, which is kind of cool. Let's go ahead and go into that and see what that looks like. Boom. So we have a nice big digital display with the navigation, and makes missing your turn pretty hard whenever it's up there. You can see other things up there like your fuel economy, your trip meter, tire pressure, all that good stuff as well. We have our push to talk button. We have wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto in this vehicle, which allows you to connect to your phone to send text messages, make phone calls, give yourself directions with your map services. You can also leave yourself reminders, listen to your own music, that type of thing. And just through the push of the button here, you can command your phone to do what you need it to do. Let's work our way over here to this 13.2-inch infotainment screen. Absolutely huge here. It's nice. I like that it is horizontal here. Our navigation we can bring up real nice and big. Looks like we got Google Maps built into it. Up here we can also control different aspects of our vehicle, such as hill descent control. We can go into our settings, and wow, there's a lot of different stuff that you can do in here. That's a how-to video in itself, but there's definitely a lot of really cool aspects, lighting aspects, and different things like that. Driver's assistance. Let's just make sure that all of that is turned on, and it looks like it is. Now, don't worry, this will allow you to connect your Apple device to the vehicle as well. There isn't any compatibility issues or anything like that. On the bottom half of this infotainment screen, we have our AC controls. On the little button here, we have heated seats for the driver and heated steering wheel options. On the right side for the passenger, we also have a heated seat as well, which is cool. Tactile volume control and knob for your radio. We have our idle engine off button. This button is our camera. You can see we have a nice big camera. We'll go over that in a second. We also have the button to turn off your traction control, and we have our auto stop feature right here, which is pretty cool. Let's show that right now. Whenever I'm in drive, all I have to do is take my foot off of the brake, and we are being held here. If I were to go ahead and hit the gas, we're moving until I hit the brake again. Now, when I hit the brake, it's going to turn on that auto stop. I have stopped here. We're not going anywhere with the vehicle. Pretty nice to have for stop and go traffic. Hidden underneath this compartment, we have a 12-volt charger, a USB-C, and a USB-A, and some additional storage space. Really great to have some additional hidden storage compartments. We have two cup holders up here, and the shifter is important to note that it is the dial shifter. So I can actually just switch us over into reverse, neutral, drive, or low gear by pressing in the button there for low gear, but pretty easy to do. We have our electric parking brake right there. Then we have our drive mode button down here. So let's see what different drive modes we have. So we have normal, we have slippery, we have off-road, and then if we go the other way, we have eco mode, we have sport mode, we have tow haul mode. So definitely a lot of different ways that you can drive. Let's keep it normal for now, and then during the test drive, maybe we'll test out that sport and see what makes it different. We have this black leather armrest with the red stitching. Whenever I flip that up, we have a lot of additional storage in there, and two USB-C fast charging ports. Up top, we want to take a look at this gigantic panoramic sunroof. A lot of visibility vertically. It's raining right now, so I'm not going to open that up, but you do have the ability to open that up. You all obviously have a shade back there as well. I'm just going to bring that up halfway. And I didn't even have to press a button, it just stopped at the halfway point. Now you can vent that and you can open that up to allow more air into the cabin. Also looking up here, we have a sunglass holder. Love having those. So a lot of features on the interior of this vehicle. I just am excited to get this out on the road and test them out, so let's do it. Let's check out this backup camera. I'm gonna put the vehicle into reverse. It's a nice, huge, big backup camera. Whenever I turn my wheel, it's changing the projected angle back into the spot here. A few other things to note, you also have that 360 view on the right-hand side, so I can really tell whenever I'm getting close to something with that aerial view. And let's take a look at this real quick, right? Because I have different ways that I can look around me here. On the right side, I have this truck, so in live view, I can actually check and see what side of my car. I can see where my tires are located. And that's just really cool. It gives me a lot of ability to see around me and to work around me without really having to do much, which is neat. If I want to get a different view back here, I can definitely set up these other views as well. And man, that's just a wider view whenever we look at it. So I can really get a really big view back there. If I were to get close to an object, or I'm heading towards an object, right? Like this truck here, we're gonna have these sensors that alert us the closer that we get to the object. It's gonna beep more and flash more at me. If I'm in reverse and I'm coming to a busy intersection like I was here, you can actually see that on the bottom of the screen there were arrows that were pointing. It was flashing at me and alerting me and beeping at me to let me know, hey, there's a vehicle coming from my right side. Don't continue to back up, you're gonna wreck. Just so many different ways that that backup camera is looking out for you. Getting out onto the highway, just hitting the accelerator. All right. And that got us right up to speed pretty quickly there. This does have the 300 horsepower, 310 pound-feet of torque, so it's definitely enough to get you up to speed. I'm gonna switch this over into sport mode real quick. And let's just hear the difference, right? The second that it switched over into sport mode, I hear it revving differently. So let's go ahead and hit the accelerator. So right there, I'm actually hearing a lot more throaty sound from the engine. You can definitely hear the difference and feel the difference here. My steering has tightened up a bit. It definitely feels like a sportier drive, especially when we have this steering wheel and we have the red stitching throughout. It just definitely feels like a sportier ride. So I went ahead and set the adaptive cruise control right here, and the vehicle in front of us is starting to stop. So we're starting to slow down. We've come down to 40 miles per hour, just kind of coasting behind this vehicle. They're speeding up now. And this is doing a pretty good job of just keeping us a safe distance from the vehicle in front of us. Now, what I can do with the adaptive cruise control, since it's sensing that vehicle in front of me, I can either bridge the gap between us and that vehicle or increase that gap to whatever safety length I really feel is necessary. I did go ahead and activate the lane keep assist system here on the steering wheel next. So what this is doing is looking at the lines of the road and keeping us within the lines of the road. So even if I just kind of inch over here, it's just going to take the steering wheel and pinball us between the lines of the road. There goes an Explorer right now. Combined with the adaptive cruise control, which is slowing us based on the vehicle in front of us, and that lane keep assist, which is keeping us within the lines of the road, this vehicle is almost driving itself, but it's an assistive feature. So you want to be attentive to what's going on around you. You want to be alert, and you want to be able to stop the vehicle and take control of it whenever you need. And if you keep your hands off the steering wheel for too long, it'll actually come off and tell you to take control of the vehicle. On the right side, I have somebody coming up in my blind spot. Whenever that happens, the mirror lights up. If I were to turn on my turn signal and somebody's over there, that is now flashing at me to alert me somebody's over there in my blind spot, that if I do make that right-hand turn, it could cause a wreck. So definitely pay attention to those signs. That blind spot monitoring comes in really handy. So this will be interesting. We have a larger 3-row SUV. Let's check out this turning radius. And that turned right around within those 2 lanes, just like every other car I've test driven. So that's pretty awesome that that turning radius is just that nimble, just that quick in a larger vehicle. Something I just noticed on the dashboard, we have the speed limit sign. It has traffic sign recognition. So whenever the speed limit changes on the road, it'll read the sign and tell me what the speed limit is. That's nice to have whenever you're doing drives in areas that you're not used to. So I think the changes to the Ford Explorer this year are pretty interesting. If you guys have questions about any of them, leave them in the comments section below. We'll make sure to get back to you. You can also check out our inventory at smaleford.com or come see us. We're right off Route 30 in Greensburg. Until next time, guys, enjoy the ride.